You know what's tricky about tenant screening? It's usually only after you make a costly mistake, missed rent, damage, legal headaches, that you realize something slipped through. Today, we're not just chasing trends. We're digging into how AI tenant screening can actually help you catch those issues before they bite.
That's a pretty spot-on way to look at it. I'm Sanjeev, CEO of Biz4Group LLC, and I've seen firsthand how those small screening mistakes can snowball into much bigger problems. We're going to unpack that today.
Here's what's coming up. First, we'll highlight exactly where real estate owners are losing money from poor screening. We'll get into what actually makes AI different, not just another faceless scoring tool.
And we'll cover how to keep bias in check, what real adoption looks like, where these systems can actually fail, and finally, how you can decide if this is really a fit for your business. Let's get started with the big cost question.
From a business owner's perspective, where does the money actually slip away in the rental process? Is it all about picking the wrong tenant, or is there more to it?
It's both, really. If you choose poorly, you risk late payments, legal battles, or even property damage. But there's a second trap. If your screening takes too long, good tenants just move on. So you're either increasing your risk, missing out on great tenants, or both at once.
That resonates. Nobody wants empty units or costly tenants. But we've had screening tools forever. What makes your approach more than just another black box to trust blindly?
That's the main concern. Blindly trusting a score is a recipe for mistakes. What we do is make the why visible. Instead of just handing over a risk score, our system shows exactly which factors are driving that risk and how strong each is.
So you're supporting decisions instead of automating them away. I like that. It sounds like the system acts more as a guide than an answer key.
Exactly. We want users to see the context, not just the conclusion. Because when you hide the reasoning, that's when the wrong calls get made, and people lose trust in the system.
Let's talk about what makes people most nervous: bias and compliance. How do you stop the system from putting clients at risk, especially in a world where automated decisions can create big legal problems?
We build the process to be explainable and completely auditable. Every risk factor can be traced and justified. Plus, the system never makes a final decision on its own. It flags risks, but the person always decides. That keeps things compliant and practical.
That approach actually feels more human than I expected. But even then, sometimes these systems just don't get used well. What makes real adoption possible?
Adoption is the toughest piece. Way too often, a tool gets set up then ignored. We avoid that by mapping how teams currently make decisions, figure out where things fall apart, and design around those real-world gaps. Then we roll everything out in phases so teams can adapt.
Change management, basically. But even with all that, where do you see this approach actually failing?
If clients think it'll magically pick the perfect tenant every time, they're going to be let down. It also falls apart if data is messy, or the team reverts to old habits. Consistency, data quality, and realistic expectations make or break these projects.
That actually leads to a question I hear a lot. How do you know when not to use an AI screening system? Is there a clear line?
If the rental volume is low or the current process is working smoothly, we usually advise holding off. These tools help most when you need speed and consistency across lots of applications. For smaller operations, it can be overkill and add unnecessary complexity.
So, for some, the best move is to keep it simple. But for higher volume, the cost of inconsistency can really add up. What actually changes after putting your system in place? Got a concrete example?
Absolutely. We worked with a property manager who had a steady flow of applications, but each decision depended on whoever was looking at it. Once they started using the structured system, the back and forth slowed down, approvals got faster, and, most importantly, their decisions became much more consistent.
That's a big deal. Consistency means fewer nasty surprises and faster approvals help keep good tenants. If someone isn't sure, what's the real risk in not making this change?
Sticking to manual screening keeps you stuck with inconsistent calls, slower turnaround, and no real way to improve. Even just a few bad tenants can cost far more than investing in a smarter process.
So, to sum this up, 1. AI screening helps you avoid expensive mistakes by making decisions transparent. 2. It only works if your team actually adapts. 3. It's not for everyone. Volume and current pain points matter. If you want to improve, start by mapping where your current process breaks down. That's the best first step.
Thanks for having me. And for anyone listening, next time you're second-guessing an application, ask if your process is giving you real answers or just more uncertainty.
Thanks again for joining us. We'll be back soon with another real-world topic to make your business run better. See you next time.